Hi, this is Frederick from the techno label Detroit, Berlin. This is the fourth episode in our game-changing gear series, and today I'm talking about the EURORACK modular gear. So it's not just one device, it's actually like a concept, like a format, in a sense that the modules are interchangeable and not like when you're buying a regular piece of gear. You buy a synthesizer and that's it, that's the synthesizer or the drum computer. You can't exchange different modules, and the sound you buy is the sound you get. It's tweakable, but to an extent. And a modular synthesizer, this is one example. It's a box with different modules. I put it together. That's also great in modular synthesizers. It's totally customizable. And yeah, you actually make your own tool, your own synthesizer. You can use mixers, envelope generators, oscillators, everything that's on the market. There are weird modules on the market, and that's great. It's really nice that so many companies, small companies, make their interesting modules, and yeah, it's great to be able to put them in a case and just patch stuff around and then yeah, come up with totally exciting sounds. Modular is aimed towards sound design, but yeah, sound design can be anything. It can be rhythmical, it can be like just a synthesizer voice, it can be experimental, ambient, you name it. Modular can do a lot of stuff. This episode I won't be doing some sounds because on the channel I have the MODTECH'S modular corner with live sets, experimentation, a little bit of tutorials, DIY stuff, and I have a few episodes on modular gear, so I'm not going very deep into modular itself, but more like talk about why it's changed my workflow. It did in a big way. I have already like reviewed a little bit some pieces of gear, like the Minimoog Voyager, the EV4000 from Akai, the Electron Analog Rhythm. They're very strict in what they do, what they're capable of, and yeah, it's really a piece of gear. Modular can be anything, you can interchange anything, so yeah, you design it, and that's what I like about modular. It can, yeah, get out of hand rather quickly. Yeah, you're always in control of how your system will look and will sound, and if you're not content with the oscillator, you can exchange it, or the mixer, you can exchange it for another mixer. You can do weird stuff with it. Yeah, the sky is the limit in modular stuff, and that's why it had such an impact on my production, the way I work. Most of the time I will use it to create a rhythm, then sample the rhythm and just put it in a production, adjust the structure of what I recorded, and other times I will just make a lot of patches that go well together and do kind of a live performance. In an old school way, I make music and I just, yeah, maybe cut it up a little bit to make it as interesting as possible and, yeah, listenable. A 50-minute jam just doing one patch can be interesting when you're doing it, but as a listener's experience, it's somewhat different. So I will cut it up and make like a 6-minute or an 8 or a 10-minute track out of it, so it stays interesting and it develops, and yeah, people can enjoy it, hopefully. Back to what the modular actually means for me. It's a system that you can start very small and expand upon and expand upon. This is one of my boxes, one of my modules. I have a few more, and the fun thing is you can really patch between these boxes, or just have one big giant modular synthesizer and yeah, have a lot of things going on. How I started my modular journey was actually a friend of mine who told me about the stuff, and at first I was a little bit skeptical because there are mini jacks and I'm not really fond of mini jacks because the connection is not always as great as it should be. Between modules I learned some do have dodgy connections and some have quality connections, so there are also dodgy cables and quality cables. When you have both dodgy cables and dodgy connections, you will be tweaking and you will be losing connections sometimes and having weird shit happen. But then again, weird shit can be good in sound design. Otherwise, when you're doing a live performance, when you're clocking and you have the clock interrupted, that's not so fun. So I like to use good cables, and some modules are a little bit dodgy, but if they're not replaceable by anything else, then I will still use it, but with some caution and not in a live sense, but like studio time stuff. I like to use to sample sounds from the modular and then tweak them in an interesting way, maybe put them in the analog rhythm, make drum sounds of it, or just really weird percussive stuff or other textures. Can be anything. It's a versatile instrument, but it can be limited when you don't know what you're buying, and it's very technical, so it's a big curve you need to take to get into modular, but there are plenty videos around. Also on the Detroit Berlin channel I have some tutorial videos, I have some modular excursions, I have some live performances, and I will keep on putting stuff out there for you to enjoy and to get maybe into modular synthesizers. A lot of techno artists use modular stuff. I like to get to know the artists using the modular stuff. I'm a modular user myself, and it's interesting to just hear the way they use their modular stuff, so I can experiment in the future even more, get some inspiration, do some other stuff, because it's extremely versatile. I keep saying this, but it's true, it's extremely versatile. You're not limited to just one box with some sounds. I started with modular because I was connecting guitar pedals and Moog Fogers and stuff in kind of a modular way, but I quickly got irritated by the fact that you have to use power adapters, but it's cumbersome because you have all these power boxes and it weighs heavy, they're fragile. It's just a mess. They get warm and everything else that's bad about them. You can run most pedals on batteries, but then it will cost you a fortune, and when you're doing stuff and the batteries run low, you're in trouble. So the main reason I got into EURORACK modular stuff is to get rid of those power adapters. EURORACK uses one bus board, a power supply, and you just connect all the modules inside the box just to the bus board, and if you connect them well, they will power up. If you don't connect them well, you might fry some modules, but it's really straightforward. They're really easy to mount and connect to the bus board, so if you read the manual well, or you know some modules and you know how they should be connected, it's kind of straightforward and you won't run into problems. I don't know how deep I will go into modular stuff, explaining it in this episode. Like I said, I have a lot of videos out there and there will follow some more. If you're new to the channel, I would say please subscribe. Also hit the bell button if you want to be notified when upcoming videos get published. And yeah, I would say thanks for watching. This was a very short episode. I will put some links in the description below to some of my modular videos. If you're interested in the topic, please go to MODTECH'S Modular Corner. And I would say, yeah, thanks for watching and hopefully see you next time.